Hello, and welcome back to Sisterly Sparks. I'm Orange Spark,
I am that perp spark.
and today we are bringing conversation on change. Before we dive into today's topic, we're going to do a mental health check in. How are you doing?
Um, Good. I don't know. Like right now, good, but in real life, I don't know what to expect with this Trump stuff though. Got me feeling some type of way. But just in general though, no complaints still. Just been booked and busy like I'm wanting to be. Um, Everybody's sick around me. Um, I'm here.
Yeah.
None spectacular going on except for Surreal One's birthday season, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Already got the fits coming. Should be here any day. I got fits
Oh,
for
you
that
own it,
world.
own it.
You know what I'm talking about? I couldn't decide, couldn't choose.
Because
You know what
why?
I'm saying?
Why pick one where you can have
Uh,
all of them?
And I bought me the little fedora hat, purple fedora hat. Okay.
Oh, all
I
right.
don't even know how I'm gonna do my hair. All right. Listen, I'm gonna be 40. I don't just yet know what I'm gonna do. Yes, I do. I want to go. I want to either go out of town somewhere, or I want to go to like a concert or like a comedy show. So I'm not being in the house for 40. Sorry, I'm not gonna do it. So,
Period.
but other than that, see how that just brought a smile on my face?
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, everything else gets this look. Look, I changed that real quick.
Uh,
But yeah, I'm good on this day. You?
Period. Um, I'm more mentally stable than I've been, but also not doing the greatest. And I'm not considered sick, but I am having health issues, so that's not fun at all. Um, but how I've been feeling and doing goes in today's topic really well. Um, I'm not a fan of change. And I felt like last week I had a bad week because I felt like my week was thrown off because I wasn't sticking, like, the things, it wasn't sticking to the schedule, but also things that I was looking forward to did not happen. So it was a bummer. And then this week I was like, okay, we're back to normal. Come to find out, we were not back to normal. But the interesting thing is, I went ahead and stuck it out, and it turned out to be okay. So I feel like it's noteworthy to talk about change, because I feel like me, who doesn't like change, there's a sense of fear of the unknown, not having the control of knowing what to expect and the
The outcome.
consistency and the pattern, that it can stop you from doing things. Because I wanted to just get up and leave. Like, I was like, nah, I'm over it. And I had already predicted that my week this week was going to be bad because of it, just like last week was. But um the change, I stuck it out, and it was actually an okay change. Like, I wouldn't prefer that every week, but for that one day, I was glad I stuck it out, and it was actually okay. It was better than not having it at all. So, um, I don't know. I feel like we fear change a lot, but also sometimes change is necessary to, one, get used to change. You have to get uncomfortable. Um, if you're in a comfortable setting, there's not room for you to truly grow. you're not being tested or expanding your horizons or, trying new things. So a lot of times change is necessary and it's good, for you to kind of step out of the box, your comfort zone, and to either elevate to the next level, implement different routines or changes into your life, daily schedule, goals, whatever the case may be. So I feel like we all deal with change different. Some people love change. There have been instances where I've enjoyed change or I've longed for change in relationships. Um, I've longed for the dynamics of the relationship to change. So that's an instance where I would happily want change, versus less tangible instances where change, it can be a bit scary. So I feel like change is vital to life, with the highs and the lows. But also, I think at the end of the day, we decide how we adjust to change, whether we meet it with resistance or if we accept it and kind of see where it takes us. So, how do you feel you do with change?
I'm kind of like you in that boat. I'm all over the place with it. It is, and it's funny that you said like uh the fear of the unknown, because that was another book topic. I've it's like the pattern unknown, like life's unknown. Sometimes for me, um I guess if I'm not really aware of it, I'm not a fan, because I don't like to just for it to just be bombarded with it just in that moment, and I'm expected to deal with it in that instance.
Mhm.
I'm the type that want to I like a heads up for something. Although at the on the other side or at the same time, because I'm not one who like to do the same thing for long periods of time, I like some change, some circumstances. Like I like to change things up. Um I I do I it years ago, um it would drive me nuts for a change to present itself to me in some form of way. Um because like you said, it's the unknown. You don't know what the change is gonna, you don't know what that entails. You don't know what that's gonna bring. You don't know what kind of decisions you're gonna have to make. You don't know how you're gonna have to move. You don't know how you're gonna have to, deal with certain things. Like if you're gonna be okay with it, if it's comfortable for you and you are right. Like sometimes when we're complacent and when we are like when we get in our comfort zone and when we find like a routine that we're good at or that we're comfortable with, or we find um, when we find what we consider to be um, a order in which we do things, and then all of a sudden, now that's going to change up. Now that's going to be something different. You're going to have to, sometimes it could be scary. Sometimes it could be frustrating. Sometimes it could be tough. Sometimes it could be not wanted. But I feel like in those moments, we do have to sit there. We do have to contemplate on if that particular change will be a positive effect or have a positive effect on us, does it mean good? Is it something that we should welcome instead of fearing just because we don't know what the outcome or what the outlook is going to be? Um, or should we just embrace it and just go with what we feel or what we know, and try and see the positive side of stuff or the situation? Um, I just also think that is a base by base type of thing too, for real, because it really, really, really do like depend on what it is and what part of your life you're at, like where you're at in that moment when that change start to occur, or when you find out that something is about to change, or and we're talking like really broad, but we can even break it down to like we could even probably come up with maybe some changes that we've actually had to deal with, or that we had to encounter, and I mean, if we want to, and see how that was dealt with, like talk it out, see how it was dealt with, or see what happened, like the steps that we took to process it or whatever. Um, for instance, just like a move, you know. You okay?
Kinda.
You don't look okay. Y'all, listen. Few weeks ago, couple times, it was on me. Okay. I was messed up. Y'all know how I was looking? Well, that's how she's feeling right now. Okay. So we trying. We gonna only try to make this about an hour long discussion because she need to take care of herself, and this we could have postponed this, but because she's a real one too, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna stick to it. But I'm still gonna check in from time to time, so I'm gonna cut my conversation off and be like, "You good? All right. I don't want no stuff from y'all. I don't want none of that." You know what I'm saying? And two, you may hear music in the background because this is a music house. Okay, we make music over here, and we're in the process of making music and fixing music over here. So you may hear a little bit in the background. All right. Anyway, you good?
Yeah,
What the stomach like?
it hurts. Like I'm trying to breathe through it, and a part of me feels like that's why I took a sip of that Gatorade. I feel like it's the acid is trying to creep up. I don't think it's sitting well in my stomach.
You gotta go to the bathroom. You need a trash can.
This one right there. I'm just breathing through it.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
let me hurry up then. What else was I saying? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, just like for instance, like if we had to, okay, I'll go personal. The whole reason how I moved, um, we had a job offer, and you really don't have too much time to decide or make a decision with that. And I mean, it just so happened we had to abruptly leave the state, or the city at least we're in. The city. She a mess, man. We had to leave the city we were in and move to another city, a city I have no clue about. I had no way to I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how I was gonna fit in. My family was gonna fit in. I don't know how my kids was gonna do with schooling, with them fitting in. Like it was unknown. But at the same time, probably because I just wanted to get away from where I was okay with it at the same time. Um, so so I literally did have to take that day by day. because you just get a feel. You look around and you analyze things around you. You watch people, how they act. I know I do. And I mean, so far it turned out to be okay. I'm not having any issues or problems. I'm being able to get things done. I'm being able to complete things, and I just feel like that actual change was for the good for me and the family. So that's just one instance of like an abrupt change or some type of change, like how I dealt with it. And of course, if I had a better situation where I was, I probably would have felt differently. I probably would have tried to, uh, we gotta go, or I probably would have been reluctant, but probably because I was trying to look for a way out anyway. Um, and it's really not too far, so it's not like I can't drive back or whatever, but just the whole thought of not being in that same area space where I was previously or where I were for like so many years. So can you think of a time or instance where you had to uh deal with change and how you dealt with it and what it was?
Yeah, there's many. I think the biggest the biggest one for me was when I started the Upper Bound program. We had went from, you know, Mama was very strict helicopter parent type of thing, so we didn't go to many places without her. And in this program for the summer, we had to move into the dorms. And as you're signing up for it, hearing about it, it sounds real good until the day comes. You gotta pack your bags, you gotta move into the dorm, and we check in Sunday night and we check out Friday afternoon. So we go to check in, and it's cool. Figure out your roommate, you set your room up, say your goodbyes, and shoot, I didn't know what to do when they left. Like, I cried. I cried the first couple nights that I was there. I didn't know what to do. And by the time I got picked up on that Friday, I told my stepdad, I was like, I don't want to do this no more. I can't do it. I'm ready to pack my stuff and come on home. Like, nah. And he's like, no, I think you'll like it. Stick it out. And I was like, I can't do it. So, he bargained with me. And he said if I completed the summer program, he would give me a phone. I don't know what about that triggered the all right, but it did. Literally. So I fixed it, or not fixed it. I completed it. And let me tell you, that was the best decision ever. Like, Upper Bound has been such a crucial part of my life, my success, my change, my improvement, knowledge, um everything. It was the best decision I could have made to stick out the program, to complete the program. But it was hard. Like, everything in me would have, I mean, it did resist. I felt I didn't know what to do without my mama being there, without my sisters being there. Like, I didn't know how to be around these strangers and to live. And mind y'all, I was up the street. Like, my house was up the street, literally. Like,
why did I feel like it was out of town?
It was at them Fairmount dorms on 21st and Hillside, the red ones where they knocked them off.
I swear I thought you was out of town.
No, not for that one. Now, when I went to Emporia, yeah, that's change number 2.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's the one. So let's get into that one. Now, when I moved away for college, that was hard. But I felt like I was prepared for it because of Upward Bound. So moving down there, I was cool. I had Bae come in. She moved and transferred schools to go with me, so I felt comfortable. But then things happened to where I was abandoned by my family and everything that I knew while I was at this place. And it, one, made me hate the place. I hated being there. Two, I had no car. Three, I had no phone. Um, I had Bae, but I couldn't cut. Bae didn't live in the dorms. She lived off campus. I mean, she was a few blocks away, but still. So it's not like I could just call her up and be like, Bae. So I felt very alone, although she was there. Um, it was that change was hard in that semester. I was like, I'm dropping out and going back to Wichita. I can't do this. Nope. Nope. I was forced yet again to complete the next semester and then I could come home. So I did it, but I didn't make intentionally, I didn't make friends. I stayed to myself. I actually switched from having a roommate to a room with that was just me. Like really put myself into isolation.
Really?
Eventually, yep. Eventually, we had I don't know if it was weekly meetings or bi-weekly meetings with our floor people. So I eventually got to know them a little bit. But again, I wasn't trying to meet nobody. I barely came out of my room. I came home every weekend. Like I would text and be like, hey, my class is out at 3:02. I need you to be outside at 3.
301.
Literally. Like my bags are packed, come get me. And then I wouldn't get dropped off until like 5 minutes before my class started. Like, would you gave me enough time to drop my bag at the dorm and get to class? Like, I was not playing. So that change was very hard. And I feel like that's still a similar change that I've constantly found myself running into, just where there has been a lot of different changes in the dynamics of my family relationships. And it's been a lot of ups and downs and like this, like they say, the carousel never stops turning kind of thing. And I've decided to get off the carousel. So I'm facing yet another change where there won't be, how do you say it, reconciliate that. So I feel like in a lot of ways I'm back to that initial feeling of abandonment and aloneness and not knowing. It's hard to go from being raised with just the people in this house, we got, like us against the world, to you becoming a part of the world that they're fighting so hard against. So I still find myself very like just trying to navigate. It's a big change. I think it's a necessary change, but I haven't quite figured out. While I think it's a positive one, I think it's also negative as well. I mean, I feel like the negative is losing, the relationships, but I also think the positive is the healthy aspects of the lack of damage and control and manipulation and all the other things that go with that. So I don't know. It's definitely interesting, but I mean, even I feel like that also touches on the life change. I feel like I've taken a different path than my siblings, my family. I've made a conscious decision not to walk down those paths of just like changing the behavior and being more, I don't know what because appropriate's not the word. Adult like? I don't know.
Aware?
Huh?
Aware?
I mean aware, but just like, how do I explain it? Like, I'm a first generation graduate. So I have my college degree. I have taken that degree and implemented it into my daily work in life. And while obtaining that and working in that, I have learned that there are there's a proper way to conduct yourself physically and verbally in the workplace, in society, because a lot of times when you go out in society, you're representing a business. So where I was a child care provider, parents, if I seen them out in public, when they think of me, they associate me with the business that I work for. So it was important that my behavior reflected positively in that way. I guess it's just kind of maturity and having goals and being smart and
You're breaking chains. You're
precise.
breaking the normal chains. You're
Yeah,
you
breaking
you
generational curses for sure.
yeah. And
Yeah.
you're one in your immediate family that that has decided to not get on the bandwagon and follow and do the norm, what's being normally done, or follow the actions that would normally happen,
Mm-hmm.
because you probably see you probably seen like the effects, and you probably been watching it and wondering, well, okay, if we keep doing this and keep getting these results, let's see if this don't happen. Or you could just see things differently than other people, so you choose based on how you see things and based on what you know to be true or to be right for you, and you choose not to do certain things or not to associate yourself with certain things or people or surroundings and any of that. And that, however, that part of change, I feel like you're coming to grips with, you coming into, and you doing it, you're starting to do it well and good, because you not you're actually, but you actually, meaning past tense, made a decision to not, because of the position that you're in right now, because of the space where you at right now. And yes, it feels, because I've been through it, and it's horrible, it's still a horrible feeling, like you said, but when you start to detach, whether that be on your own or just automatically, or just
Forcibly.
a need or whatever, and you get a chance to step outside of you, step back step back away from everything and everybody, and you start to realize, and you start to see like different things, and you see what impact certain actions have on certain people or certain things or situations. You see how, you probably acted previously, and you thinking about the results that you got from how you were, how who you surround yourself with, what like what was being done, what wasn't being done, what,
Mm-hmm.
like you saying, like you learn how to speak in different settings, and you learn how to adapt. And I feel like that part right there, I feel like I remember talking to you like years ago, telling you, like, we all say when we're fed up with something, we all say when we're going to do something, we all make declarations, but we talk forever. Is when we actually put
Do
that
it.
talking to work, and when we actually do it is when we getting fed up with the previous, and we really standing tall on the
Mm-hmm.
next thing. So I just feel like you're coming into, um you for real finding yourself, you for real finding your groove, you for real finding what suits you. Because at the end of the day, like, yeah, we can live for other people by like letting them choose our actions, letting them choose how we act, how we talk, who we be around, and all that. But we what's the word I'm looking for? Dang, I just lost my. We're the ones who have to deal with the consequences. We're the ones who have to face whatever it is, the outcomes of whatever it is that. And so I feel like we have to choose what we want to do, how we want to live, how we want to act, who we want to be around. And I just feel like that also ties into finding and being your authentic self. Because when you real and when you all the way you, there's no you thinking about, well, if I say this, then that no. Because when you literally show you, all of you, the true, the real you without any type of additives, the the opposite of that, when you do all that, then I feel like that's when you mostly get everything that's supposed to be attached to you. That's when you find yourself in places where you supposed to be in. That's when you find people who's supposed to be around you, who's supposed to be in your circle, your area, whatever it is that you call it, that you may want to whatever. But um because we do, I think this world is a show off, a show like a we everybody's one upping everybody. Everybody's trying to compete with one another. Everybody's trying to live for someone. Everybody's trying to make somebody please somebody. And we're forgetting that we have to please ourselves. We have to one up ourselves. We have to be in competition with ourselves, our previous selves. Yesterday, I'm right now, I'm trying to be better than I was yesterday. I don't know how anybody else was. I don't know how y'all was affected by it, but I have to, for you to be impactful, it have to come from a real place. It have to be it have to for you to be an impact. The things that you do, the beliefs you have, the moves you make, the people around you, all of that have to be included with someone finding you um impactful, by someone um wanting to take advice from you, from and you also have to let your actions speak too. Like you can't just talk about it. You have to actually be about it. And that's it for me, that's gonna always be a deterrent, the determining factor on like if I trust you or not, if I involve myself with you or not, if I be around you or not. I'm not gonna say that I 100% just shun what people say, but about 65%. You don't really, matter of fact, you don't even have to say, you don't have to say nothing. If I'm
Yep.
around you enough, I'm a see.
Everything you need to know. Yeah.
We can, I said this probably the last thing, we can speak a lie. We can't act, how am I trying to say that? We can speak and not be truthful quick. Like we can make a sudden, but when our actions though, it shows exactly what we, even when we don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
The body language don't, it never fails at all. So why not just be authentic? I feel like because sometimes we do be wanting certain people or certain things. So we do feel like we have to either minimize us a little bit, not say certain things a little bit, not act certain ways that we actually do, just so we could have those things or those people around us. Um, but and it may feel good initially, but down the line, that's not going that's not going to be good for either one of us or anybody or any of that, because now we're living in a falsehood, and now we're having to keep this false image up. And for me, don't I got time for that. I don't have time to think about, okay, what did I say what did I say, who how did I say,
Yeah.
just to keep up with, you know what I mean? Like that's a lot of work, a lot of energy, a lot of memory that I don't have. Like I don't have time for it. So I just feel like I'm gonna speak what I want with regard to. However, I actually do still try to keep in mind, like, not if other people will like it or not, but how it may affect somebody. So I still do try to walk and talk and try to be respectful of other people and how they are. Um, However, still remaining though true to myself.
Mm-hmm.
And two, you do also have to think about it. Nobody's thinking about it like, you know what? I'm a I'm a be this way because Tanya, yeah, she don't mess with that, so I'm just not gonna do that when I'm around, or courting, like the way I said that the other day. So I'm just not gonna. Nobody's doing none of that. Really, 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 the next person do not care for real about what the other person's thinking, how the other person's going to be affected about how what I'm gonna say out my mouth or what I'm going to do or any of that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that's a win-lose situation for the people who have, including me, for the people who have those feelings and that empathy and that sympathy for other people and their feelings, and how they intake things, and how they deal with stuff. um because yes, on one hand, you, like I said, you do want to be authentically you, and even if that offends somebody, even if that negatively affects somebody or any of that. However, depending on what kind of person you are, who you are, I know for me, like, it still affects me because I wouldn't be okay with myself if what I said, how I act, um any of that affects somebody to where now they're either feeling some type of way, their mood is off, their energy is whatever. Even though just the thought of me having something to do with that change with somebody affects me. So in that aspect, I try to not be me, but I just try to make the delivery suitable.
Mm-hmm.
It's still me. It's still my words that I want. It's still my actions I want. But it is just me just being respectful and cognizant of the next person. Um, but I don't know. It's listen, I feel like we also say this always too. Life is freaking hard, man. This stuff that we go through on a day-to-day basis,
Mm-hmm. Insane.
and freaking sane. The things that we have to think about, the things that we have to worry about, the things that we have to, the decisions that we have to make, the people that we meet every on a day-to-day basis, the ones who we communicate with on a day-to-day basis, the your family, like it is crazy. Like I just it's this life is not for the weak.
Mm-mm.
Not for the weak at all. And it will sit you on your ass.
Will knock you.
No, that too. Yeah. Yeah, not even politely sitting you. Yeah, it knocks you. It do. But I don't know. So yeah, I just still try to take stuff because in two now I am predicting some change because of the things that I want and the things that I want to accomplish and the different directions I want to go. So I do know there is going to be some type of changes. So it's not like I can prepare for the exact changes, but I can prepare myself to um be ready to deal with whatever the change is, whatever the the things are that I have to maybe make decisions on or whatever. Because I want more. You know, the more every day goes by, the more I grow, the more I learn. I'm wanting more things. I wanted to learn more. I wanted to do more. I wanted to be better. So um I try to set myself up like every day I'm going to face something challenging. I'm going to face something that I haven't faced before. And sometimes for me it's a thrill because I'm like, oh, okay, let's see what about to happen. But then again, we think about real life, and then we think about this whole presidency stuff, and we think about people literally having our hands in their lives. I mean, our lives in their hands and stuff by a signing of a document or something, and that all goes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I don't know. What you think though?
About the Cheeto.
I mean, any of it for real. Like but and it's crazy because you could have a plan for yourself. You can be mapped out. You can map it out and all that. And now this happened, and then because of the outcomes of this happening, now you're having to rethink your whole plans, your whole goals, your whole life.
Everything.
Everything, and you have to see if that's actually gonna be come to fruition. You have to think on if it's gonna deter you, like the things that's happening and changes, how it's gonna affect you, and the upcoming seasons and what's to come. Like it's like you really revamping your whole life now. It's like you really seeing your life flashing before you and not knowing how it's going to come out at in the end. So
Mhm.
yeah, it's a big,
Big change is what it is.
probably unwanted too. Like
Definitely.
you don't even
But
know yet all the
but
way.
there are people who wanted this because Project
Right.
45 was released before the election. So there are people who intentionally voted
I
for
wonder
these
how
things
they
to
feel
happen.
right now. I feel like they should do some interviews and
They chilling. They probably part of the KKK. They chilling. They again, this whole make America great again. There was never, it was always the question asked, when was America so great? When I mean, from when he first started saying such things and printing them on them ugly ass hats, from that point back in the history, when was America so great? Which one are you trying to replicate? Nobody can give you an answer for it. Well, no, that doesn't answer the question. What time frame are you trying to replicate? Well, what was it, Monday? As soon as Broski was sworn in there, he let us know what time frame.
Immediately.
He ain't put the pen down yet.
Yeah.
To stop signing executive orders. He's letting us know exactly what he meant by let's make America great again. And all those people who support Trump and making America great again, I see you.
Ta-da!
Just know this is what you asked for. And let me just say, this whole immigration thing and y'all trying to deport people and, send them back to their homeland. The only rightful ones to be here is niggas and Indians. Okay, that's it.
I really think people are talking in the back. Like, I feel like.
Right. So the only people, and I do mean the only people that were in America first, that built America and everything in between, was niggas, i.e. African Americans, and the Native Americans, also known as the Indians. Them are the only two groups of people that you can't send back home. And y'all like to say, oh, but they brought us over from Africa and the slave ships. You show right. They did go get some slaves. But guess what? Before that, what's his name? Christopher Columbus decided he wanted to come over here and discover some stuff. Hence come over here, right?
Which means that so he didn't discover.
He didn't discover nothing. There was already people here, Black people, indigenous people here for hundreds and hundreds of years before he ever brought himself over here talking about he discovered something. So while you telling everybody to go on home, Trump, send your wife home, babe. Send yourself home, babe. All you white folks need to go home. Where'd y'all come? The Caucasus Mountains? Yeah, it's calling you. Go home.
How about though all the stealing of our things and they're disguising it as theirs and we're supposed to be less than and we're supposed to be the ones that's inferior
but see, that's why slavery was a thing anyway, because they knew our potential. There is nothing that a white man, look, if you want something created, invented, that's Black people. Discoveries, that's some white people.
We always make something out of nothing.
You feel me? Because we're not gonna stick around. Oh, you saw a giant? Oh, I ain't seen nothing. I'm over here. I'm not going to check it out. But y'all, let's go see. Oh, yeah, no, we're not about to do that. We're gonna leave the discoveries to you. Hence him talking about he came over here to discover. What he discovered was it was a bunch of niggas over here. Okay, that's what he discovered and was like, what can we do with this? This is some nice land. It's real prosperous. They got a good thing going over here, and we ain't got nothing going on. So how can we overthrow that and make this ours? Yeah, because y'all don't, nothing y'all have is your own. And little do y'all know, y'all don't even have culture for real. Y'all do not have a culture. Every other race has one, but you. But I digress. I digress. I'm just saying, like, y'all really feel superior. Y'all really feel like this is y'all land and y'all have a right to be here. The whole time, do you want to talk about Thanksgiving or do you not? Because if we talk about it, who was here? What do you celebrate? Oh, I mean, so again, if we deporting people, if we sending them back home,
but this is also though people not doing their homework and people just choosing people, not knowing what their actual agendas. What I just said, people can speak and tell you and give you all kinds of
BS.
Yeah.
False narratives, false promises.
And when they get what they want, They
and it
show you their
operates
real
on their own
colors. Like,
agenda.
gotcha.
Hmm.
Gotcha.
But I also feel like the
Yeah.
Trump supporters, they knew what was up. Just like you had those people that stormed the Capitol, you knew exactly what influence you had over what people and what they believed and what links they were willing to go to on your behalf.
Mm-hmm.
I just know I don't like the change. I don't like it. It's never in my life of living here have I felt such an uncertainty of like
I
what life
feel
is going
so
to be.
unsafe.
Literally, literally. How can you? If you're stripping
Even
us of our rights, you're stripping us of the
even
law of
even with me
discrimination.
protected, I still feel unsafe.
As you should. They just gave the police the free reign to do whatever they want to because we don't have the same rights as a Caucasian human. So yes, we should feel very unsafe. We should feel unsafe and worried for our black sons, our black husbands, black women, the most unfairly treated and hated people in America. Yes,
Remember I said I still feel like we've been enslaved.
have.
That's
There was
that's that's
always systematic. They
this
took away
is
the
it's
physical
about to
change.
happen. It's
They're
making
trying
its
to put
way.
they're trying to put back on the physical chains. That's all
Hmm.
they're trying to do. They said forget the system. That's not
They're
enough.
they're unmasking themselves.
Yep. Yep.
And they're tired of pretending with us now. They're tired of
That
soothing
part.
us. They're tired of pacifying us. They're tired of um, falsely advertising with us.
Mhm.
So they're about to show their real colors. And yes, it's already been happening.
Yep.
And if we don't wake up, it's gonna be the change is gonna be quicker than they've ever imagined. If we
Mhm.
don't all wake up, if we don't all realize, if we don't all, because there is some people who feel like it doesn't matter. This have no impact. And one reason why, and I know we're not talking about it today, but one reason why I um I'm so against the Jehovah's Witnesses now is because they one their the belief is they're not part of this world. So they don't have like they don't pay attention and they don't engulf themselves in what's going on and what's happening and I just feel like in that moment when I was there, yeah, like you just didn't like you didn't care like what was happening or what was going on or because it's like, well, I ain't part of this world. This messed up. Like this ain't my world, blah blah. I'm just here for now, blah blah. But when you snap out of that shit, it's like, hold on, but I am here. And it is a reason why I'm here. And people are messing with that and people are making decisions and doing things and it's affecting everybody worldwide and everybody's being affected, everybody's having to deal with certain things, sometimes what they don't want, sometimes vice versa. And it's I have to pay attention now because I didn't for so long because I felt like I didn't need to. That was part of the religion. I felt like I didn't need to. There was for what? Like, but yes, everything that everybody does affects somebody in some type of way. And I feel like we have to be aware of what's going on right outside of our doors, right outside of our windows, right outside of from where we are. We need to be aware of that.
Mhm.
We need to be cognizant. We need to be thinking. We need to be with clear sound mind and coming up with plans and coming up with ideas and coming up with different things that put us in position to where we don't get knocked all the way down. We don't get eliminated. We don't get destroyed. But we have to wake up. We have to realize that something is wrong. We have to realize that without us, there isn't going to be any change. Without us knowing how things are now being affected at people, but now it's even scary to even voice your opinions now, because like you just don't know. You don't know what the next moment or the next second is going to bring you. You don't know, like, you don't know what he's doing right now in this moment that will affect this whole country. We don't know until somebody make a report, and we're just gonna have to deal with it. It's horrible.
And just know the cartel don't care what your race is. Because, yeah, Trump ruffling feathers over there. Canada, they don't care either. China, he dang sure don't care. Russia, he don't either. Just know, it's not just us. And also, to my fellow Caucasians, well, I can't say fellow, but, you know, to the Caucasians out there who have African American friends, just know that your silence speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Volumes. And know that it's not enough to just say, oh, well, you're my friend and I love you. And to tell me that it's not right.
You know, I seen something earlier, and it wasn't more right. Everybody not too long ago, a few days ago for real, just made this big ass fuss about TikTok not being up. Everybody was loud. Everybody was voicing opinions. Everybody was stating their case. Everybody, but now all this other stuff is happening.
Silence.
And I hear crickets. I hear crickets. Like, not saying that everybody just have to be loud and voicing things. And there is other ways that people can help and people can do stuff. But in a whole, as a whole, there's nothing being done. Nothing being done. And I just wish that I was just talking to my client today earlier, and I just wish that we as a people understood our power as a individual, but even more so the power together for us. And we can really take back over what's ours. We can really do damage if we need to. We can really take back what's ours. Forget it. Like, we can if we team up together and not try to compete with one another because of what they're putting out. They've put things in place for us to compete with one another with. And so now that's all we know is how to be competitive against each other. That's all we know, how to try to one up the next person. That's all we know is how to try to be better than the next person or whatever. Not in a good way. Like, no working together, no helping the next one. None of that. It's crazy. It's crazy to me.
It is. And it's not going to get no better. Unfortunately. It's going to continue to go downhill. And it looks like presidents will now have 3 terms.
Get out of here. Did they actually make that?
Not yet. Not yet.
Who are you to feel? Okay. All right.
Mm,
I guess that's what the majority chose. So who am I to go against or to have any feeling about? That's crazy though. 3 terms because why?
You got to stay in control and do all the change. Make sure it's all implemented. And make sure that we are so dismantled that there's no way for us to beat systemic change or chains or physical chains or any type of these things, and that they can only succeed. There's an agenda for sure.
Yeah.
A whole agenda.
Mm.
And he feels that only he can do so. But he gives very Hitler vibes. They've been throwing up Nazi signs and whatnot. So
That Elon Musk, the hell was that about?
I mean, we ain't gonna talk about the mark of the beast, but who put a chip in a human's head? Who created the hand chip to pay for?
Yeah, it's I don't know. Mm, better tell y'all, be careful with y'all choices y'all make. Be careful with the decisions y'all choose to
Everybody
go with.
choice.
Like, pay attention more. Speak less. Pay attention more. Uh,
Make sure now more than ever that you know self-defense as well.
yes, I was just gonna say, try to work together and. Yeah, it's frustrating too though. Like, it's frustrating because sometimes I don't know. It throws me. I be in and out of being good and then being frustrated. One minute I could be smile on my face, happy, cheery, all that. Then I could have a thought about something realistic or something that's going on like right now, and my whole mood change. Like, I'm like one of them damn mood change rings and shit. For real, like it changes that suddenly. Like,
One
it's
thought
crazy
can trigger something. Yeah.
for somebody to have that much power. How did we even get here with somebody having power over an entire nation, an entire country? Like, I know that wasn't. Was that in the beginning? Was that how things
Not at
went?
all. No.
Like, how did we get to having one person?
I mean, well, the Romans was like a dictatorship. But no, because George Washington was the first president, and there was life established way before him. So no, but then again, the Romans were, but there were other parts of life that weren't operating that way. So I guess both.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, um, okay, and I guess to circle back to the main topic. Y'all see how we be getting off topic and we be going on tantrums and cuz man, this is how this is real life happening though in real time. No
Literally.
playback, no rewind, no fast forward. This is real time. And this is just how some people deal with it. Some people analyze it. Some people um choose to deal with it. Um and it's crazy. Some people don't know what to do. Don't do anything because it's like, well, damn if I do, damn if I don't. Like it's you just have to know what it is you want and then try to factor that into the outcome of what you want. And ain't gonna be no bitch. Neither though.
Period. Can't
Don't
afford
try
it.
me.
Please don't.
Don't try me.
It will be the Montgomery Brawl all over again. And not with just chairs.
Okay. Like nobody got time. No, literally nobody has time at all. Not for none of that. Um. So anyway, so yeah, I just say for just handing out advice a little bit before we wrap it up. I just feel like yes, change can be good and bad. I would advise to sit and think about how it could affect you, whatever the change is, and go like, sorry, I'm sleepy. Um, Try to get through that in one space, not try to be all over, all around. Um, Try to deal with it. Try to see if it's something worthy for you to even have to deal with. Um, and if so, if something good comes from it, embrace it. If not, try to learn from it. Try to take away, okay, what did I miss, or what was it supposed to show me, or what was I supposed to get from it, or make it a teachable moment, not like a defeated moment. Um, because some change can be good. Um, so I just say embrace everything, but also be ready for everything. And that's what I'm gonna leave you with.
I think that's a good token for sure. Um, because again, at the end of the day, we are in control of how we either accept or reject change, and how we choose to go about it can be crucial for the future pattern of how you receive it the next time, and even the outcome, because your resistance could also affect the intensity of the outcome, especially if it was intended to be a positive outcome. So be very conscious of that. Be open to change. Change can be good, even with the unknown, even with the fear of the unknown. It can still bring about such great things. And it's okay to have the negatives of the fear, the worry, the uncertainty. Um, in spite of it, go with the flow, get through it, and you 9 times out of 10 we feel so accomplished once we get through it, because it is almost like we just leveled up to a whole nother place, and in that next level we're able to find our comfort zone,
Yeah.
because a lot of times we get comfortable where we are, and then we don't want to come out of that. But then once
Right.
you face something and you get it under your belt, then you get comfortable. And now that's not an obstacle you have to overcome anymore. You're comfortable in that area. But just anticipate that eventually you will have to elevate yet again. Because life is a day-to-day thing. It just is. So, but let us know in the comments any situations with change that you have dealt with and how you dealt with them. Also, feel free to write us on Facebook. Feel free to write us to our email, sisterlysparks@gmail.com. You can also write us on our Twitter, which is Sisterly Sparks as well. Be sure and follow us both on our main pages. We will see you next week for another segment of the Sisterly Sparks conversation. And before we go out, we do want to send our condolences to Pink Spark and the loss of her relative. We are lifting you up and your family up in prayers. So let's.
And still pray for California still. I don't think that's all the way under wraps. And just about really anybody or any place or anything that's going through something, that's dealing with something traumatic or dramatizing or anything. Like, this world needs prayer. This world needs help. Like, so everybody do what you can do to the best of your ability. And once we do that and we come together, it's gonna be so unstoppable. That's what I'm waiting on. So yeah.
And a huge thank you to the countries around the world who are doing protests about our rights and our freedom and etc. YouTube, don't take this video down. But yes, they're making the algorithm to where we can't see people posting these protests, but people around the world are doing protests. They have signs, they're in big masses of bodies of people going out and protesting for us and what is happening here in the United States. And I just want to say thank you so much for doing such things. I have been able to see a few of the clips, and your support and thoughts are very much so needed and appreciated. So until we see you next week, I am Orange Spark, and that's Purple Spark, and we out. Peace. Tanya.
Oh.
We out. Peace.